What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Mr. Madrid from the Mr. Madrid Show, and today we are at a remote location. This is the gentleman that I came across. Actually, my wife came across his Instagram page. And he was like, "Hey, babe, check this out," because there's a lot of things that he does that resonate with the way that you are. So, a lot of things that we have in common. So, I started following him, and up until recently, I was like, you know what? In order to bring on more guests that have things that are very similar to my lifestyle, let me start reaching out. So I reached out to him, said, "Hey, I really respect your work, love your content. Even my wife loves the content." And on top of that, he plays some Spanish music, which I love. But yeah, I reached out, let him know if he would be willing to come on, and he said, "Yeah." So here we are, Michael. Pleasure
What's
to
up,
have you
bro?
on the show.
Thank you
Thank
for having
you
me.
for saying yes. Introduce yourself to the people. Let them know a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Michael, aka Dad.Encasa from social media. I'm a regular 33-year-old dad, married, been with my wife for almost 20 years now. We've been together since 2008. I have two kids, 4 and 2. Dominican roots, originally from New York, but I've been in Orlando for a long time already. Laid back, hardworking guy, trying to be the best husband and dad I can, and just having fun, making memories. Nothing too crazy, just a regular dad.
Love it. Love it. Now, you explained a lot about kind of a broad overview of who you are, but when we take everything away from you, who is Michael, the person?
That's a good question. I'm a really laid back, down to earth, sometimes emotional guy, cares a lot about his family, the people around him, just making people laugh, having people around him being happy. That's really who I am. Just like a very loving person. I don't know how other people would describe themselves, but that's how I feel right now as far as who I am, as far as right now in life and who I've been growing up in the past.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Now, you mentioned family, you mentioned the wife. Now, because of how like you came into my world, in the content creation space, can you tell us a little bit about that? Like, just so the folks know right out the gate,
Yeah.
what is it that you do on social?
Yeah.
And you have a good amount of following. You have
hmm
close to what, 20
Uh,
some
in total, across the platforms, they're almost 30K.
30,000 followers, which is not easy.
Yes, yes, yes,
So talk to
yes.
us about what it is that you do on social.
So I started social basically to find some sort of outlet for me as a dad to express myself, kind of like a hobby. I've always been into creating content as far as like shooting video and stuff. I was in TV production all through high school. So I've always been interested in it and I've always been wanting to kind of get back into it. But you grow a little older, priorities change, you get a job, you start having kids. So in the middle of me having my kids that are 4 and 2 now, I was always trying to figure out a way, like, because you get really like in the trenches, especially if you have like two kids under two, you can see some, like really, like dark hours. You got you changing diapers at night. Maybe you have a baby that's colicky. Whatever it may be. So
Yeah.
you may have like long nights, long days, and sometimes you feel like wow, like are other people going through this, or this is me, just me and my wife, like. So I wanted to create content to provide some other dads, some other fathers, some other parents, just a glimpse, 30, 50 seconds of it be entertainment or something that I can give them of value. So I like to, aside from my entertainment, which I consider like the cooking and things like that, I do a lot of, I call them like dad motivational videos where I'll talk about things that are relatable as far as me being a dad, being a working dad, working from home dad, or being a husband. So I'll do like short videos and giving them like little quotes or meaningful statements that kind of resonate. So my thing in creating content originally was to give like yourself, like, let's say if you're having a really hard day with one of your kids, you pop up your phone and, oh, there's Dad in Casa. He relates to me. Like let me clear my head for 20 seconds and watch his video and relate to it and just escape for those 20 seconds or even 60 seconds. So that was my whole point initially from with starting content, is a creative outlet for myself, but also sharing my journey with other parents, other fathers that resonates and that provide something for them. I try to provide something for all my followers through the content, through every video, whether it's, like I said, entertainment, motivational, something that's relatable. I try to give them something in each and every video. Even if it's cooking, I'm giving them an easy recipe. So I try to give the viewer something to leave with, and it's not just, oh, I'm just watching a little TikTok video or Instagram reel.
Right, right,
They're actually getting something from it. That's how I see it. That's how I view it. That's how I go into the craft. If people get it, then so be it. If they don't, then that's fine. But I know that I get messages, hundreds of messages, comments of people that I've inspired that are relatable. And that does it for me. So if
right,
I inspired one person, if I did it, then I've already achieved everything I wanted to.
right. That's amazing. One thing I'll say too is like yourself, like you have the what is it called?
The griddle,
The griddle. I have the Blackstone, you have
the local griddle.
the local griddle. So I do a lot of cooking there. Like the whole scheme there was you could cook everything on one shot.
Yes,
So there's a
yes,
madness to why I'm bringing this up.
yes.
My wife saw your video where you're doing plátanos
Uh-huh.
on it. So she's like, she looks at me because I'm always
Yeah.
telling her to do it in the
Yeah, yeah,
house.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
She took that away from me. Your
Yep.
video, where she's like, hey, babe, like he does it on the griddle. Like, why
Yeah,
can't you do
yeah,
it?
yeah.
And so that's another thing that's just been added to
Yeah.
my plate.
No, the whole griddle cooking on the Blackstone kind of took off. I just did it like messing around one day. I recorded myself making breakfast, and on that one of those early videos got like 1.3 million views. And I was like, okay, well people like this, so let me keep doing it. And then people kept on liking it. So I started just like cooking basically everything on there that made sense. But it's like you said, like something as easy as like tostones or like plátano. Some people, you always think of it as like something that you fry indoors. You
Right,
need a
right, right.
fryer. And that's necessarily not the case anymore. Cast irons and griddles, like cast irons specifically, they been around for centuries.
Right.
But sometimes people are scared to use it because it's so it could be delicate, but I cook on that mostly every day, and it's so easy to just clean afterwards, and then you save like the smell inside. Like
Right.
if you make those tostones, like that fried smell stays in your house for the longest. And we've also been saving time because we don't have to like clean a lot of dishes inside. So yeah, the like I get a lot of comments on the Blackstone, like how do you clean it? And it's just simple, you as soon as you use it, you need to maintain it. So you gotta just scrape it, water when it's hot, and wipe it down with a paper towel and throw your little oil on it, grease it up again, and close it, and it's ready for the next use.
That's why I love it.
Mhm.
There's not much to it. Like when you had those traditional grills, it
Yes.
was an issue. And
Yes. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you're like me, whereas like it'll never look the same.
Yeah.
So it's just like you're heartbroken. Talking about like when you did that first cooking video and you got those 1.3 million views, what was that like, bro? Like to
That was
wake up
crazy.
and be like, damn, like I
Yeah.
just posted a quick little 20 to
That was
60-second
crazy.
video.
Yeah, it was mind blowing because I look at it now and I still cherish those videos, but I'm like the videos I'm making now are like way better quality. But it was a simple video. It was like pancakes, hash brown, bacon. I think I threw on some Morgan Wallen in the background for music, and it just hit. But it was something that's relatable because people do that on the weekend. People try to make breakfast and have it with their family because after a busy week, you kind of settle down during the weekend.
Yeah.
Most families do. So I think it was really relatable, and a lot of people resonated with it, and that's why it hit. And it was such a basic, American breakfast, nothing too complicated.
Yeah, man. And you have a vibe here, bro, because
Yeah.
you're cooking, you got the pool, the
Mhm.
beautiful view, the weather's
Mhm.
amazing. It's an overall package you got it going on. How does that, so being that you're a dad, right? And I'm trying to put myself in your shoes, a
Mhm.
dad, you have a full-time job, you're able to work from home, and that could be either make life easier or
Yes.
harder.
Yeah.
Sometimes you
Yeah.
end up working more than you would at the office.
Absolutely. Yep.
But how do you juggle that? How do you juggle the work life, family life, and then the content creation life?
Yeah. It's a lot. I'm not gonna lie, and I tell people when they ask me like, "How do you do it?" Like, or I want to get started in content creation. The first thing is being consistent, and then when you add on all the other factors that I have, dad, husband, full-time job, the content creating and my regular full-time 9 to 5 job, those are those are basically 2 jobs right now
Right.
because I'm creating content, but I'm uploading and shooting and, posting every single day. So that's like my, they say 9 to 5 and 5, that's like my 5 to 9 after my 9 to 5. And it's every day. It's, 24/7 basically. But I have a big support system with my wife. She helps me a lot, whether it's being behind the camera, seeing if everything looks good because I'm cooking and I don't see like on the other side of the phone because I shoot with my phone.
Right.
Or if I need some quiet time, she'll stay with the kids. If I'm doing the grass, she'll be inside with the kids. So I have a big support system with my wife. And it's all about staying organized. So planning if I'm gonna shoot a video today, like at what time am I gonna shoot it? What time am I gonna edit? What are the kids gonna be doing? Do I need to call the grandparents or the in-laws to watch them? Like, what type of time do I need? But it's just about like organization and communication with your partner, your spouse, whoever it may be.
Right.
If you have some, if you're like in a relationship, because without that, it wouldn't be where it is today. Organization and communication with my wife, being on the same page, her allowing me to do all this and coming along on the journey because
Right.
it's like a family thing. Like we have dinner, we have breakfast. I film them. Sometimes my wife is in the videos. We'll do like a little date night video. So it's a whole family type of business. If everyone wasn't on the same page, it wouldn't be successful. So
It'd be more difficult.
organization and consistency. I don't neglect my 9 to 5. When I'm on, and I do my job to the T. And when I'm off and I have some free time, I'm doing the content. So it's not easy. It's doable, but it's hard work. It doesn't come easy. It may look easy on the other side of the lens, but it's definitely not easy.
So, and then and we're gonna come back to the wife part because,
Mhm.
like my wife as well, that understanding is huge.
Yeah.
Pause that for a second.
Mhm.
The content creation portion of it, like we spoke offline when we first started getting to
Yeah.
know each
Yeah.
other. I asked you if you batch record, and you said you didn't.
Mm.
So my follow-up question to that is, how do you come up with the ideas, and when do you come up with the ideas for what you're shooting for the day,
Mhm.
and do you schedule that out days in advance?
Yeah. So I usually plan everything out with my wife. I call my wife my executive producer. So we're in the wives moment. So it's like when I talk about it, she has to come up because it's like my right hand when it comes to that. So even when it comes to like looking up recipes, like she'll look up recipes, she'll see if it's something that we can do, if it's like super tough, or she'll say, "Hey, would you want to make this? Like this is, does this look good? Is it the vibe?" Because you also want to make something that is pleasing to the eye.
Right.
And something that'll gain some tractions. But I also try to do things that are fairly easy because I'm not no professional chef. I'm just like a little dad that likes to cook. I won't even say home chef because I'm not a chef. I have a passion for food and for cooking.
We be chefing it
Um,
up though, bro.
but yes, I do, but we find like a lot of recipes online. We have cookbooks that we like to mix in our little flair to it. But yeah, to go back to your question, sorry. I don't batch record, but what I do is like let's say during the week, like a Monday through Friday, I have kind of like my schedule of like what I put up already. Mondays, I usually try to put up a cooking video. So we try to film that over the weekend. So
Okay.
either Saturday or Sunday, because Mondays get busy. And then now with daylight savings, it gets dark quicker. Think about the regular 9 to 5. You're not like kind of getting into your evening routine until like 5:30, 5:45. At
Right.
that time, it's already dark. So we try to record some of the cooking ones that we post during the week over the weekend, but most of the ones that you see like Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, sometimes that are just like my day in the life lifestyle videos or dad motivational videos. I usually record those the day of, just like the spur of the moment, like how my day is feeling, what type of vibe I want to put out to the follower. It could be that, I had a tough morning with the kids, getting them ready for school, or something happened over the weekend, or I saw something that resonated online, like I read an article and I'm like, let me make a video about this. So batch recording, I don't do like a whole ton of that. I try to be as authentic as possible, but I definitely don't do like I recorded something 3 weeks ago, let me put it out today and, say, "Oh, having fun on a Saturday." I try to be somewhat authentic as far as that point, which is not a bad thing, but yeah, like, I wish I had more time because that's also another factor, like, with the kids, I can't just be batch recording and, like, recording all day because then, that takes up a lot of time in my regular life for my relationship with my kids and my wife, so, it's like having a reality show, like, it could consume you, so I try to be cautious and have some days where it's like no camera time. Those days are usually, stress free because I don't have to record. So the batch recording is good. I wish I did it a little more because that would save me some time to spend more time with the kids and stuff and not have the camera around all the time.
Yeah.
But that's something I'm learning. I haven't even been doing this for a year. In March, it'll be a year. So I'm still relatively new to it. So I'm still like doing like a lot of trial and error. And one of the things I'm trying to sort of master in a sense in 2026 is like phone storage, batch recording. How do I take my content to the next level as far as like video quality? Those are the type of things I'm looking at for 2026. But yeah, that's your answer for batch
And I
recording.
think it's awesome, man, that the fact that you haven't been doing this for a year,
Mm,
you have the following
yeah.
that
Mm,
you have the amount of views
mm-hmm.
on videos,
Mm-hmm.
um, all of that stuff. It just goes to show like the structure that you have for yourself
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
content creation portion is very important. I think about it myself. Like, I know we were talking offline. I recently was laid off from my job,
Yeah.
and now this has become my 9 to 5
Mm-hmm.
because depression is a real thing, and not
Yeah.
to take it
Yeah. Yeah.
somewhere else, but
Yeah.
since we're
Yeah.
two men, it's easy to be a man and see yourself unemployed and get into that thing. So
Yeah.
now I've jumped into content creation full
Mm-hmm.
time, and then
Mm-hmm.
also like the has spoken to you about the business as well. And the reason I ask you all these questions because I'm genuinely interested of what do you structure your day like?
Mm-hmm.
Like when do you turn off that content
Mm-hmm.
creation and so like that's
Mm-hmm.
the other thing too as creators, it's always on.
Yeah. 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 Absolutely.
It's a gift and a curse because you'll get some great ideas on the fly,
Mhm.
but then it's like, okay, I said today was no content creation,
Yes,
but
yes, yes. So it is definitely what like the camera is always on, not literally, but like always in here. Like even like when I'm like if I'm driving to the supermarket, I'll be like, oh, this would be like a nice little B-roll,
yeah,
me driving, putting up like a little quote, a little statement, something relatable. But it is all about finding that balance because it could consume you.
right,
So you talked about being laid off, or you talk about like depression. There's a lot of people see like the glitz and the glamour on social media, the content creators, and people talking about how much money they made. Yeah, like there's a lot of opportunity, but there's also there's also like another world to it. Like you could be high, you could have a nice month, great month, and then next month is kind of like you're like an average content creator, and then you're like stuck in that high. You're like, what? People don't like me anymore. I'm not relatable anymore. Like,
yeah, it
oh my,
messes with you,
yeah, it messes with you. Do I have to go buy a camera? Do I have to go buy a new mic? Yeah, they can't hear me. Like, like what's going on? Is it me? It messes with you emotionally, mentally, because I mentioned the like the views, and you have as a content creator, you have your professional dashboard. You see all your metrics. Some months you may be at 3.4 million views in a month, and then slowly you see it trickling down, and like if you have a slow month and that starts getting to you. So
right,
you have to balance it. You have to always keep in mind why you started doing it. The why behind the what is really important because when you're high, you're high. And this is just like everything in life. But when you're low, that's when you can really tell like, what bones you have, like what people are around you to support you, what really matters. I started this content creation for this. So let me keep that in mind, even if I have like a slow month or a video doesn't pop off the way I want it
right,
to. Because that's another thing. Like you pour your heart and soul into a video as far as editing and the angles, the you're shooting, and sometimes I got to get my in-laws to watch the kids. I got to drive them over there. I got to pack their bags. It takes boom. I'm doing all this for this video. The video only gets 6,000 views, and that's like soul crushing. But in those moments, because I get those when I make like my dad motivational stuff that doesn't do as well as the cooking stuff, but I don't really care because I care more about the message that I'm giving in the dad motivational
right,
stuff, in the day in the life stuff. I care so much about that message that I don't even care about the views.
right,
So I'm like, as long as it hits, 10 people and it resonates with them, I've already done. So it's really important to stay balanced and to remember why you're doing it, because you there's highs and lows, and when it's low, it could be low, and it could be dangerous as far as depression and all that. So
Right, right, right.
I've built a community on social media with creators such as yourself, other creators that do similar content like me, day in the life, and some of the cooking guys too that I follow, that follow me back, because you're in this together. So I try to have my social media community, but then also the backbone, of course, my wife and my kids, and remembering the why behind the what.
So how do you handle those moments where you don't get the attention or the views that you
Mm,
want? How do you stay in the game? How do you keep yourself? I know you mentioned like always remembering why you're doing what you're
yeah,
doing.
yeah, yeah,
And I'm playing devil's advocate here
yeah,
because it's like sometimes, we're human, so
yeah,
you
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
you try your best, right? But then that's still, is there anything else that maybe you could give off to the people that you think about what your mission is, but also when that's also being questioned,
Yeah,
like what still keeps you in the game of saying, you know what, I'm gonna still put this out, or I'm gonna
yeah,
let this live out
yeah,
there,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah,
And continue on pushing.
yeah.
Like, because one thing is like you psyching yourself out, like this is the mission, but sometimes the world gets in your head. How do you keep that out and keep doing what you're doing?
So that's a very good question. The first thing that comes to my mind is my kids, my wife. They're part of the reason why I'm doing this, because you could definitely make a good living doing it. As far as like having like a side hustle,
Right,
a lot of people have like part-time jobs. I kind of consider this as my hobby, but also a part-time job. So I keep that in mind as far as like when you have your regular full-time job, like of course you'd rather just be in the beach chilling, but you have a responsibility at the end of the day to pay your bills,
right,
to have a roof under your head. One of the things with content creation was like, um, I want to build this hobby for myself. I want to, put my creative outlet out there. I want to, put my thoughts out there for like other people to resonate. But then also in turn, if you start gaining traction and you start doing things really well, you can get paid.
right,
So one of the things I was like, if I can make enough money to pay for 1 or 2 vacations for my family a year, it'll just be extra, and that's all I need, because that extra money that I do spend on those vacations from my regular 9 to 5 job, I could put that in a savings account, for a rainy day or for
right.
something else that we wanna do. And I don't have to, like, go out and get a part-time job and be away from my kids for 5, 6, 7 hours part-time, leaving the house. I could just do it with them. I could, record myself cooking or having family time with them. But then the other thing that I remember when I do have those moments are the people that send me nice messages. They
Mhm.
put the comments like, "Hey, you inspire me," this or that. I have hundreds of those screenshots that I'm just building up so I can post at the end of 2026, because I didn't get to do that at the end of 2025. But a lot of those messages keep me going. Because that was my end goal, from the beginning, is just impacting people. So, I get a little emotional talking about it, because like I mentioned in the beginning, I'm just like a regular guy. So having the ability to reach people across the globe, and then messaging you things that are nice and inspiring, because social media can also be very negative. You could get really negative comments, but those positive ones are also ones that I keep in the back of my mind when I do have a bad month or a bad week or something.
What's something that you've gotten from one of your viewers or followers that like really stands out to you? And
Yeah,
and I always want to preface this by saying they all mean something,
yeah, 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 yeah. No,
right?
no,
There's always
absolutely,
one really.
absolutely. So I got this one, and I don't remember word for word, but the gentleman was basically telling me that I inspire him to be a better dad, because I do like a lot of my cooking videos with the family. My content is a lot of family oriented stuff and dad stuff. So the gentleman was telling me I inspire him to be a better dad, because his dad wasn't there, and then he sees me being like such a good dad. And I do that because there's always room for improvement. I'm not a perfect dad,
Excuse me.
but and I think he mentioned that he was like a young father or something. So just seeing me do things really inspire him to do certain things in his life, whether it was learning how to cook for his family. He was like, "Oh, I
Right.
don't know how to cook. You've inspired me to learn how to cook, and I could just do it on like on a Blackstone or something like that." Those that one I remember specifically, but dude, is honestly has been so many, and it's not even like to brag, but I have them all in my screenshots. But those are one, and I've gotten a few with like that similar verbiage, and that just means that means everything to me because I know like I'm not a perfect dad, but you know if you could see the things that I'm doing in those videos, you know, just doing things like that can make a difference. Spending 10 minutes with your family sitting down can make a difference in a child's life and also your spouse. You could get wrapped up in life and the daily motion and forget like, wow, we haven't sat and like ate together
Yeah.
in 2 weeks or
Right.
you know, we haven't done that since last Saturday. So, you know, just having that moment of calm, you know, and if they could resonate and do that at least once or twice a week with their family, that's awesome.
Yeah. I think that's so important, man, because like I have 2 kids as well. Like my daughter's 12, but she's in that teenager
Yeah.
phase. My son is 8.
Mhm.
You think it gets easier
Right.
to raise your kids,
Right.
but I think the joy in it is to be there to guide them through the
Yeah.
process of
Yeah.
life. And I like that you said like, you're not a perfect dad. I don't think any of us
Right.
are
Right.
because it's something that one time somebody said this to me. They were like, when my daughter was maybe 1 or 2, you go through the frustrations of early parenting when this is new to you. So I was like, "Oh, she's not listening." And I also hate, I don't know if this is like the Hispanic side of me, when somebody would tell me something about parenting,
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, of
right?
course, of course, of
Especially
course,
a
of
stranger.
course, of course. Yeah.
But funny
Yeah.
enough, this lady said, she like touched me. That was another red flag.
Uh,
She was like, just remember she's new here.
yeah.
Bro, when
Yeah.
she said
Yeah.
that, I
Yeah.
felt
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
crying. She's like, she's brand new here.
Yes.
You've been here. She's like, however old you are, you've been
Yes.
here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that stood
Yeah.
out to me
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Dinner time is very important to
Mhm.
me to break bread with my family. One of
Yeah.
the things that I took it upon myself alongside my wife. We always pray before
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
start dinner.
Yeah.
Always. And I think to have God in the house and to be
Mhm.
able to say a prayer with the family
Absolutely.
and everybody gets a chance to say something.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
don't have nothing to say,
Yeah.
cool,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's very important. And that's even in watching your latest video that I saw
Mhm.
was for Valentine's
Mhm.
Day
Mhm.
and I saw you with the wife and kids, to be honest with you, I was really planning to do like a dinner with just me and my wife. And your video inspired me to have my kids
Include
there.
them.
Because usually I would have like hooked up a meal, send the kids
Yeah,
upstairs,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
had
yeah.
just me and my
Yeah,
wife.
yeah.
I woke up, yesterday was Valentine's.
Yeah.
Yesterday? Yeah,
Yeah,
yesterday was
yesterday, yeah.
Valentine's. Woke up super early, got my daughter some good, like
Mhm.
everybody got a little something.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
my wife happened to make breakfast, and then I made dinner. But
Mhm.
it was cool, man, that experience. And I think a lot of times for our kids is that we want to set the right example, set the right tone. So it's things like praying before dinner is
Yeah.
something hopefully they when they have their families, they can do
They'll
the same.
exactly.
So I think that's powerful. And for you, one of the latest episodes that I had before this one was a girl from New York City. And what she does and what inspired the crap out of
Mhm.
me was
Mhm.
she walks up to people in New York City and
Mhm.
interviews them.
Yeah, yeah,
She starts off with a question like, "What makes you feel alive?"
yeah.
Right? And she has a brand that she's putting out called "Se la Luz," which is like "Be the Light." And she just like opened my eyes to something completely different,
Uh-huh.
which is like you're a light on
Yeah.
social media,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
people to be hitting you up
Yeah.
and saying all these positive things is refreshing to let you know like what you
Mhm.
are doing is
Exactly.
powerful.
Yes.
Those moments of doubt, those moments where you stop, where
Yeah.
you're questioning what you're doing,
Yeah.
that's why you're doing it, you
Exactly.
know?
Yep.
And
Yep.
I think that's, I tip my hat to you. That's amazing. I never really, you think of it like that. Like I've gotten people that message me and they're like, oh, keep it
Yeah, yeah,
going,
yeah,
this,
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
But sometimes I feel like you get so bogged down with the content creation that
Yes.
like you say, you question like,
Yeah.
do I need a better camera? Do I
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
better this,
Yeah.
better
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, you could really just do this with your phone
Yeah.
and it looks amazing.
Yeah.
And as long as the message is felt, that I
Exactly.
think is the key thing.
Exactly.
As far as your wife coming into place with this, right? I know
Mhm.
that we were
Mhm.
talking about the support system
Mhm.
there. What is her outlook on everything that you do, or when you share with her the positive impact that you have on other people all around the world?
Yeah, she's definitely been there since the very beginning and pushing me to be as close to perfect as possible as far as delivering something that's like good quality because the market is oversaturated with content creators and a lot of it is good and a lot of it is just like let me just slap something together and try to go viral. And that's like a slap in the face to me because I put in so much time and effort. And then sometimes those like let me slap it together videos go viral and you're like, wait, what about me? I put in
Right.
3 hours of manpower into this video. What about me? So my wife has always been the one like, no matter the highs and lows, deliver the quality that you've been doing from the beginning. And if we can improve, we can improve. But she's been there to support me when I need the time, when I need the advice. I call her the executive producer because she does like all my final little edits. Like I'll edit all my videos and then I'll give it to her. I'm like, hey, take a look at it and delete everything that you don't like because I know if she doesn't like it, it's not pleasing to that. Like it's it's weird. It doesn't make sense. Something like that.
Yeah.
My wife is really like OCD, really like a perfectionist. So I'm like, I give it to her when I'm done with my stuff. I'll give it to her. She'll do what she has to do. I'll take it over and then I'll do like all the final edits. But I know once I do all the final edits, she's already took off whatever needs to be taken off. So she does a lot of that. She'll help me come up with recipes. If there's things that I don't know how to cook because I'm not a professional chef, she'll help me on the technique or whatever off camera, and then I'll try to like perfect it because I'm not a professional chef.
Just
There's
in case.
yeah, yeah, there's some things that I haven't had training on, like I get some comments about like my knife skills. I never went to culinary school, so I'm not a perfectionist in my knife skills. But that's something that I've been improving on in this year journey.
Damn, man. What's
That makes me feel good. Like,
yeah.
man, like, I was cutting tomatoes like this last March. Now I'm cutting like this. So content creating has also helped me become like a better cook because I've always been the one like in my family, like with all my brothers and sisters, the one that was always like a little heavy set. So like I could throw down in the kitchen, I could defend myself.
Yeah, yeah.
Like if worst comes to worst, mom and dad weren't there. I'm eating because I know how to cook. Like what are you guys eating?
You go whip something
Yeah,
up.
yeah. You guys are eating what I'm making. So I've always been that. Like even when me and my wife got married and we moved in together, like she would cook, but then sometimes I would cook. My wife is a way better cook than me. She can make way more like complex dishes. But these days she's a little rusty. She's a
Mm.
little rusty because I've been taking over. But
Yeah.
she's still like an amazing cook.
Culture wise, where are you guys from?
So our background is Dominican. Our parents are Dominican. We're both from New York originally. I've been in Orlando way longer than she has, but yeah, New York, Dominican.
And the reason I ask is when I watch your videos, like you have the bachata playing
Yes,
sometimes,
yeah,
you put
yeah,
different
yeah,
tunes
yeah, yeah, yeah,
for
yeah,
different
yeah,
folks. But like I love when you're hooking up, like I said in the beginning, like the
yeah,
plátanos that you could throw
yeah,
on the Blackstone
yes,
and stuff like
yes,
that.
yeah,
That's why I forgot to ask that question early on, so people are aware, like the Dominican
yes, yeah,
flavor, and you're putting it together. That's
yeah,
dope, man.
yeah. So one thing that I've always had like in my bio, in my socials, I always had the Dominican flag so people can know where I'm from.
Yeah,
Because I could like I'm like my parents are Dominican. Obviously, I was born in New York, so but I don't dismiss that side of my heritage.
of course.
So as much as I'm trying to cater to a broader audience, I still have that stamp there, like he's Dominican. So even if like that video that I put up that I told you that went viral, I had Morgan Wallen playing, but that doesn't mean that I'm just like this country guy,
Yeah,
I just enjoy listening to Morgan Wallen sometimes. And sometimes I'll put Romeo Santos or I'll put Anthony Santos. It doesn't mean that I'm like this, like Dominican hick or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
I just enjoy listening to that music sometimes. Or I could put some hip hop or I could just put like a little pop, something pop.
What I'll say about that, bro, is so I grew up and I told you in New York City, Washington Heights. I'm not Dominican. Both parents are from Chile. And the one thing that I'll say respectfully about the
That's
Dominican
interesting. Yeah.
culture is that they embrace you.
Oh my gosh.
And even
Yes.
you playing country music, like that's what Dominicans do.
Yeah.
They are a vibe and they bring the vibe anywhere they're at.
So I'll
Right?
tell you this on that point. I don't mean to get off, but to veer left or right in the conversation. Like Dominicans are one of the most, like, supportive people that you can find, and I've learned that, well, I've kind of been known that, but I've been, like, bear witness to it, like, this last year, because every time that I put, like, a video and I put some native Dominican music on, bachata, merengue, or whatever it is, or even, like, the dish that I'm cooking, I get tons of follows from that.
Right.
Tons of so they watch the video, they interact with the video, but then they hit the follow button.
Yeah, which is important.
That's super important, and that's the whole kind of mission in social media is to be as relatable as you can to where the person hits the follow. That's the hardest part because you could get the 1.3 million views, but are you gonna get 1.3 million followers? No, that's not gonna happen. But if you do get 2, 3, 4, 5,000 followers off of it, that's,
Yeah, that speaks
that's decent.
volumes.
But the hardest part is from those 1.3 million views to get people to hit the like or to follow. But when I put out these videos with Dominican music, traditional Dominican dishes, or even like Puerto Rican dishes, or any type of Hispanic dish, they follow. They
Yeah.
follow, they'll watch it, but then they'll follow. So there's been moments where like I sit back and I analyze things, and not to get like too controversial, but I'm Dominican. They see me so they support me. There's other videos that I'm not reaching that audience, and it's harder for me to get a follow based on maybe like my appearance, to be completely honest, which is, is just like a learning curve, and you go
What do you
through
mean?
that in life in general.
Break that down for me.
So, and it's not to get like controversial, but I can make a video, and right now is there's like a big trend of people like recording themselves running and stuff, like jogging, just acting like a little crazy. They'll put like some hip hop music in the background.
Right.
I could do that same video, right?
Yeah.
And I won't get the amount of likes, follows, or anything. But then somebody else with like nice hair and stuff, nice hair, nice eyes, certain look, they'll they'll blow up.
Are we saying that if you post it with Spanish people, or you just saying it could be the same music?
It could be the same type of
Got
video.
it. Okay.
It could be the same type of video, but I won't get the amount of support that the other individual will get.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, based off of like maybe how I look. Because these type of videos aren't really relatable or resonating with, let's say, the Dominican culture or Hispanic culture. They're resonating more towards the American culture, which is fine. So this side, they're gonna be like, oh, como un relajo, como que está, está corriendo ahí, like, like, oh, it's like comical.
Yeah.
But for this other group of people, oh, he's like relatable. He's wearing a certain type of brand. He looks the type of way. He's trendy. I want to follow him,
Right.
or follow him or her. Um, so it's just things like that on social media that I've noticed in this year that are like kind of like unspoken.
You know what it is that people what it is and not saying anything bad, but just people want to put you in a corner and they want to know you just for that. And
Exactly.
and I'll include myself
Yeah.
in being one of those people
Yeah.
because like if I know somebody for a certain thing and
Yeah.
then let's say that person goes on a jog and shoots
hmm
a video,
hmm
I'm like, that's
Yeah.
not what I know
Yeah.
you for, and you're taking me out of and I think what it is too, bro, like it's a comfort zone thing where it's like the safety of like you know what it is, you have the expectation of
hmm
what you're gonna see, and then
hmm
when you see something different, it just throws you off where you're just like,
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying, but I think there's several other factors to it. Um, and it's not that I have something against, any type of race or anything like that. I just think that, I don't know, like I wish like I wasn't in a box, you know?
right,
Like you mentioned being in a box. I don't want to be in a box. I don't want to be like, just like this Hispanic guy or whatever. I have a variety of different things that I do with my content. So if you follow me for cooking, great. If you follow me because I make the Dominican dishes, great. But I really wish that I could reach another different, like another audience. And it's not to dismiss this other audience because I love this audience. That's where that's where I'm from. That's my heritage. But I'm trying to break like a barrier.
yeah. What you're saying is you're not just for this section here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You create for
yeah,
everybody
yeah,
who's willing to
yeah.
accept.
So I keep doing it. I keep doing it as far as making the content that I want. And even if, like I mentioned earlier, even if it doesn't get the views, I still make the content because it still resonates with a certain amount of people, which was my goal. But at the same time, like it's also frustrating because I do want to break that little barrier that does exist.
Mm.
And
Powerful
it's yeah,
that you
yeah,
feel that.
yes. And it's not to get like too controversial, too political because, I'm very open-minded. I respect everyone's opinion, but there is a barrier to break there, unfortunately. And that's just one of the things that I've learned in this almost year journey of posting content every day.
I get it. I get it, man. I mean, like the way I'm taking it is two different, not two different ways, but two ways. Is like you love that the Hispanic culture is embracing you, and that's great, and you love that.
Yeah.
But you're also putting love into your content. You want to share that love just with
Yeah.
anybody and
It's
everybody, and you don't want it to be limited as to
exactly.
if you're from this culture,
Mhm.
you're not open to watching the type
Yes.
of videos just
Yes.
because you may
Yeah.
hear a Spanish song behind it,
Exactly. Exactly.
where like there's messaging behind it.
It's just like, I would compare it to any musical artist that's trying to, cross over and reach another audience. Like maybe, Romeo Santos, how he mentioned a couple months ago that he's never done SNL.
Yeah.
What's it gonna take for me or Romeo, which is, I put myself in his category. I just
Hey, you have
I
to,
just
bro.
I just did that. But, like, what's it gonna take for us to just, like, break that barrier?
Right.
Like, why can't he be on SNL? Why can I reach a certain audience? Or why can I yeah, like, why can't they follow me? And I know it's a personal decision, but it's also like, why is the algorithm not taking me to those
Mm.
folks? You know? Why hasn't Romeo been invited to SNL? Why aren't we in the mix? I just wanna be in the mix, and then let me do me. He wants to be on SNL, let him perform, let people see him. I wanna be in the mix, let people see what I have to offer, and then you make your decision on if you wanna follow or not.
Right.
But I at least wanna be in the mix.
Right.
Give me that opportunity. Don't throw me in the algorithm, put me in this category because it's hard to break that barrier. And then it's frustrating when you see other people that have started with you and, in your opinion, like, your stuff is always gonna be top tier. But there's some things that are black and white. You could tell, like, "Okay, this guy put some time into this video, this guy put some" and it just doesn't make sense when you put in so much work and effort and somebody that was in your same position just, like, skyrockets and they're, like, doing the bare minimum.
Right.
That's one of the things that frustrates me the most. But I also think that's one of the barriers that exist there, where that person was thrown in the mix and he's given the opportunity. He or she has given the opportunity of earning people's follows. I may be doing the right thing as far as in my opinion, and looking at it in black and white and like looking at quality of the videos and the message, but I'm not getting that same opportunity to be in the mix.
That's powerful. Yeah, I can't say that I know the feeling because you've had in what I would consider a lot of success
Mhm.
in within a year's time.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
you're seeing a different side where you feel like you're hitting a ceiling in one of these
Yeah.
areas, and you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
why?
Yeah, and I tell you, like, that's one of the things I struggle with the most daily is how to break that barrier. How to break that barrier because, I'm doing everything I can in my power to still put out powerful messages when I'm not cooking, still putting out great recipes when I'm cooking, trying to work on those hooks and stuff to keep people engaged and watching after 3 or 5 seconds. But that's just the name of the game.
Let me ask you a question. And before I ask you the question,
Mhm.
myself in trying to grow my following, I've tried different tactics, and it took everything to get where I'm at now,
Yeah,
which is not even a lot. It's
I get it.
1375,
I get it,
right?
bro. I've been there.
So what I did, and I listened to Gary Vee, what Gary Vee said is just like a business, you have to promote yourself, you have to use ads and stuff like that.
Mhm.
What I started doing, obviously we have fathers, we have
Yeah, 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 yeah.
mortgage, we have
Yeah,
these things
yeah,
that we
yeah,
have real
yeah.
bills. Wherever I see a couple extra dollars that I
Mhm.
could just hide away from the
Yeah,
wife, I'll throw and promote
yeah.
my
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
And what Gary Vee basically said is to pick the target audience
Mhm,
that you wanna
mhm.
not cater to, but advertise
Yeah,
to and let
yeah,
them know and go after that. The one that I chose to do is he said, what I recommend is you advertising in the area that you live in,
yeah,
become known,
yeah,
famous
yeah,
in that area,
yeah,
and then that'll be easier for those people to then
yeah, yeah,
influence other people
yeah.
to watch your stuff. So I've done that and I've gained like almost 200 followers organically
Uh-huh.
because now I'm reaching people that I wouldn't have
Yeah,
because I'm putting dollars behind it.
absolutely.
Have you ever done that? Have you ever tried to do that?
Yeah.
Like to get to that?
I tried it at the very beginning when I started, and that's one of the things that people don't talk about a lot. Like you just mentioned you have, um, 1,500 followers or something like that. And when you're starting, you want that immediate success. Everyone wants immediate success, but with social media, it's a long journey. So at the beginning, like you're looking at your followers and you're like, oh, I'm at 800, 900. Oh my God, this is gonna take years to get to 1,000. Gonna get years to get to 5,000. I'm not even thinking about 10,000. So at the beginning, there's outlets that you could use. You could boost your videos. You could throw ads on it. um, but for me, I did that for a couple weeks just to try it out because it gives you the option is there. And when you're in those moments of like you want success quick and then you like you see something that says your video could reach 5K or you could reach this amount, you're gonna sign up for it. You're gonna go for it because you're trying to get that immediate success. I tried it. It did work. Like you do get views, you do get some followers, but for my type of content, that wasn't the route I wanted to go in.
Right.
I wanted people to see my stuff organically, not through sponsored or ad or suggested, and to want to follow me organically. You're reaching people organically as well, but you're also like in a different type of space. So you're trying to promote the podcast and reach the audience. So yeah, like you have to promote it. You got to get into people's face and like, hey, watch it. Give me a chance. But with me, I wanted people to just come up like I'm putting my baby to sleep. I'm scrolling on social media. Oh, who's this guy? 33, 33. Oh,
Yeah, I
I'm
get what you're
I'm
saying.
I'm 33. I'm putting my baby to sleep. Giving me a hard time. 33-year-old dad. Oh, snap. Oh, he's 33. He looks like me. Oh, he lives in Florida. He got 2 kids. This is relatable. Boom, let me follow him.
Yeah.
Oh, he's cooking too? So that's what I wanted. But I do encourage people that are on platforms like podcasts or that they do have like a business to use those, but and use it, like learn about it, do your research, and then if you are gonna put dollars into it, really make it count. But with my stuff, I kinda grew, nationally instead of growing up like locally. So I know like a few local content creators that have more followers than me, but I probably get more business than them because I'm nationally recognized, if
Okay.
that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
So I could be a local content creator all day and they reach out to me from this restaurant, can you come? Give us a food review. I'll pay this, boom, 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 boom. But you can only do so much in
Right.
this space where I'm like, I'm here. So I'm getting reached out from left and right, California, this, that, which is perfectly fine. So that's what I wanted.
Got it.
But growing from the ground up locally to nationally, that's fine too. Everyone has their priorities and
Right,
what they
right,
want
right.
to do.
One thing that you mentioned too about content creation a lot, like about people that just spike, like they go viral.
Yes.
One thing that
Yes.
always sticks to me, so I'm gonna
Yes.
be honest with you, Michael. I
Yes.
don't look at the views for me, right?
Uh-huh.
Because I'm not that strong,
Right.
right? Like if I
Right. So yeah,
really let the views and
it'll yeah,
the
it'll
the followers are something I always look at because it gets me excited to see
mhm.
one person
Yeah.
following.
That's awesome, dude.
But the people that go viral, right? It's
Mm,
very few
mm,
people that can actually handle what
mm,
comes after that. So I'll
mhm.
give you an example that I've said before,
Yeah.
and it's 50 Cent's example. He
Yeah.
said that there was this rapper, I forget his name, that he went extremely viral. He only had one song. That's the only song he
Was it a chameleonaire?
Oh, no, no. It's the guy that was signed by Kanye West. He used to go
Yeah.
right? And no jab. I'm just telling a
No,
story.
no, no. This is facts.
So
yeah,
he had that one song, blew up, got signed, and then he had nothing to follow up to
yeah,
that. And then
yeah,
just,
yeah,
I don't know where he is now.
yeah,
God bless
yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah,
He went, and then 50 Cent compared Kevin Hart to that. Now, Kevin Hart was doing stand up
yeah,
every night for
yes, yeah,
years,
yeah, yeah,
right? Putting in the
yeah,
work.
yeah,
And when he finally got caught that lick, he took off. But because he had the work ethic, because he had all that skin in the game,
exactly,
he was able to. So
exactly.
that's what sometimes I remind myself of when I
Mhm,
see somebody
mhm,
else who's, and more
mhm,
power to who, to
mhm.
anybody out there. But that's what keeps me sane. That's what keeps me in the podcast gym, doing my push-ups, putting out stuff
That
and
keeps you balanced.
balance. Because I'm like, the day that this thing catches on, I'm gonna be ready for it because I've put in the reps, I've put in the time, I've
Yeah,
had the
yeah,
conversation,
absolutely, absolutely.
I've know what it's like to set up a camera, be behind the camera, wear all the
You
hats.
know the grit it takes.
Right, 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 right,
And
right.
no, and it's that, that word just came to me, but that's what it is. And I mentioned a couple minutes ago about trying to break the barrier. You see people doing the same thing as you, they blow up,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
do this. I'm in several group chats with different content creators that are in the same space, whether it's cooking, day in the life type of stuff, dad type of stuff. And you see some people that blow up and you're like that doesn't make sense. Like we're doing some the same thing. Like that's what I'm talking about, breaking barriers. But in a way, that's a gift and a curse because you could go from 5,000 to 25,000 followers and you get complacent because you're like, damn, I just reached 25,000 followers and only took a couple videos. But it's about maintaining the consistency and delivering 10, 20, 30 more of those videos
Yes.
and grinding it out.
Right.
Because if you go from 5 to 25 to 30, you never went through all that grit that you're going through that I'm still going through because now you got companies reaching out to you. Oh, I want to be your agent or I got this brand deal for you. So you start seeing money coming in, you got an agent and that could go to your head. Whereas me, or like you said, Kevin Hart, this man's doing stand up every night, every night. I'm doing this every day, getting 10, 20,000, 500,000 views. Then one day 6,000 views. I'm going through the ups, the downs, everything. So you go through everything, and that builds you up. So if you do have those videos that go crazy viral, and you get thousands of followers overnight or something crazy, like you're able to stay balanced. You're like, "Oh, let me just keep doing what I'm doing." But some of these guys um that I know that we started around the same time or maybe even like a little before me, um, they get a little cocky. Their video qualities start going down. They get complacent. They're not posting every day. I'm just gonna post 3 or 4 times a week or whatever. And it just comes easy, but, at a certain point, you
Yeah, you start
it
suffering
starts leveling out, and
because
I'll
people
tell you
coming
this
back.
to give you a little gem that happened to a couple people I know, right? And right now, me and them are neck and neck in followers already.
Yeah.
So, they blew up. I like it took me several months, but I'm already catching up to them. So that tells you that they're not growing. Meanwhile, I'm growing. They're here, like, they're stuck. They had their viral moment. Okay, what are you gonna do with that viral moment now?
Right.
How are you gonna capitalize? While Dad.Encasa, boom, 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 he's improving every day because he's hustling, he's grinding, he's hungry. Whereas if maybe you were hungry before, but now you good. You had your meal, you good. Meanwhile, I'm still hungry over here. I'm still building. So it's like when I see that, I'm like, it's a gift and a curse
Right.
because you got to know how to manage it. And it's like that with every type of little success that anyone has. You have to find a way to stay balanced, and the only way you're gonna stay balanced is if you have that hard work, dedication, that grit behind you that keeps you
Right.
balanced.
I got a lawsuit one time when I was a kid, man. I was just 18 or 19. I got like 30 grand.
Yeah, it's like when people win the
Que yo
lotto.
sabía,
It's
what did I know about money, bro?
it's like when you hear the people that win the lotto and then they go broke because
You don't know what to do with
yeah,
it.
you don't know what to do with it. You have to have that foundation of remembering like where you came from, why you're doing this to like stay balanced.
Yeah, and you think about you scaling what you do now, if you're able to find success in it where you can make a living, you don't have to do what you're doing now. You can make
Yeah.
a living off of what
Yeah.
you do. You could hire people to come do the things you need. Like you're not, you know exactly what you need done, so you can take it to another. You can level up,
Yeah, yeah.
rightfully so, because
As
you know what to do.
I'll tell you this, man, as long as I keep doing what I'm doing, and when people ask me about becoming a content creator and how can they be successful, consistency. And that's something that I've heard a lot throughout my life. You know, like you hear it in school, your teachers, your parents, your tia, lo abuelo, but you always like brush it off. Like, oh, whatever, you hear hard work, dedication, sweat and tears, you hear all that. But I never knew it until I started this journey. Like this is the hardest thing I've ever done. And for some people, they may laugh at that. Oh, you have a house with a pool, blah, blah. It's the hardest thing. This is the hardest thing that I've ever done. So, respectfully, there's people that go through other things and, I empathize with that. But this is the hardest thing that I've worked for in my life. I was blessed enough to have parents that had decent jobs. They moved us from New York to Florida and I'm grateful for that. And everyone has their own journey. For me, this is the hardest thing that I have ever done. And I'm going at it full force. So when I hear like people talking about blood, sweat, and tears, consistency, and like it'll pay off, like you always hear that. Now is when I'm really understanding it because I started this journey almost a year ago next month, and I've been posting every single day for almost a year, which is insane. But I've already, gained a ton of followers and stuff, and millions of people watch my stuff every month. And I could just credit that to the hard work and dedication and consistency. And when I tell people you got to be consistent, and they're like, yeah, 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 yeah. I know it's not resonating with them because I've heard that all my life too. But I'm here to say, like to you and to the people watching, that if you're consistent enough, it'll pay off.
Yeah.
Because I'm living proof, and I have people that started following me when I had 300 followers. And they still follow me and they message me and like, dude, it's crazy how much you've grown. I see the videos you're doing with like brands and stuff. Like now, like I could touch it. I could feel it. Since I've been following you since 300 followers, I could touch it. I could feel it. I could, if I want to do it, I know it's doable now because you did it,
Right.
and I've been following you for a year. I've talked to several people like that same conversation, and that just motivates me so much to do even more to show them that it is possible because I've always heard those things my whole life. And it's not to sound like a broken record, but this is the hardest thing I've done, and it has paid off. And it's because me being consistent and putting in that blood, sweat, and tears that you always hear about, but you never know until you actually do it.
And that like I will say in the content creation that I do, doing it every day, bro,
Oh
that's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
dedication, man.
Yeah, yeah. Like doing
That's
doing
so
what you do and being able to throw out episodes every day or every other day, that's hard. That's hard.
what I'm saying too is like I think you have a good point, man. You go you're gonna go as far as you're willing to take it,
Yeah,
as far
yeah,
as you're
yeah.
willing to put into it.
Yep.
So in a place like me, like my goal recently has been, and it's difficult, right? Even with not working the 9 to 5 anymore, is my goal was to shoot a video like this, a podcast episode, and then put out 3 pieces of content daily.
Mhm.
And that's tough. So I could just imagine what you go through
Mhm.
putting, I don't know how many videos you put out a day.
No, I only do one video a day.
One video this. So even that though,
Yeah.
because it
Yeah.
takes to be creative every single day, have something new and fresh to put out.
Yes.
And then the legwork behind it, the editing portion, the
Mhm.
doubting certain
Mhm.
point, oh, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
it's difficult and I respect what you do because and you're seeing the fruits of your labor in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
followers and the messages that you
Yeah.
get.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
inspiring and it motivates me
Yeah.
like massively because I'm like, okay, this is his secret ingredient of how you're pushing yourself forward. It makes me want to level up.
Yeah.
That's why I genuinely enjoy this podcasting world and speaking to interesting people,
Mhm.
having awesome conversations because I'm always seeking inspiration.
Mhm.
And I think that the moment that you stop seeking inspiration and looking for people to help uplift you, whether if it's done directly or indirectly,
Mm.
you're dead in the water, especially if you want to be a content
Yeah.
creator.
Yeah.
Because you're giving your secret sauce, how you're able to build your platform.
Yeah, exactly. And what I'm gonna start doing in 2026, and I did this like a week ago last week, is putting out like little gems of like behind the scenes of how I manage being a full-time employee, a full-time dad, full-time husband, and being a full-time content creator because I feel like a lot of people probably see it and they're like, "Oh man, like this looks nice, this looks easy to do," but I want to show people like it's not easy. Like it's not easy carrying a camera around and filming in public and wondering what someone's thinking of you. But those are things that with time, like you just start like not caring.
Right.
But like sometimes I wish that, oh, let me just spend a day with my family without doing any recording. But unfortunately, like that's the hard work it takes to do it. So whereas maybe because I did this today, I don't have to do anything tomorrow,
Right.
but I got to do this today. Even though I don't really want to, I'm just not in the mood. I'm going to do it today. So then tomorrow, my son wants to go to the park or with his friends. I'm going to do this today so then I could do that with him tomorrow.
Right. And you don't have to
Um,
worry about catching up
yeah,
or
creating content or something. Because one of the things is one of my goals is to post every day for a year, and I'm almost there. But one thing that I'm realizing is like, man, even after the year, I'm probably gonna keep posting every
of
day
course, yeah.
because I'm already programmed and I see the success of it and I see that right now, like, yeah, it's still hard, but it's getting easier for me already.
Right.
So why would I
Your foot
not?
off the
And
gas.
it's and that goes to what I tell you a few minutes ago. Like some of these people skyrocket so much, they're like, oh, I'm not gonna post every day. I don't need to post every day anymore. But it's like, well, maybe you still do because you haven't grown in 3 months since
Mhm.
that viral video. So maybe you do need to post every day to hold yourself accountable, to improve what you're doing, to capitalize on that specific video that everyone liked. So those are things that I'm constantly thinking of.
I always use the analogy of the six pack. I've never had a six pack in my life, but you'll this will resonate.
Probably.
Once you get the six pack, you can't stop doing sit ups because you got the six
Is
pack.
it? Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah,
have
yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
maybe
Yeah,
you don't have to go as hard because now you have it, now you maintain it. But I think it's
that's
the
what it
same
is.
concept, bro. Like
That's
you
what it
can't
is.
take your foot off the gas.
Yeah.
In this world of content creation, for me, is everything. Like I want to include my kids in it and figure out a way to make a living and do this.
Yeah,
This I really love what I do.
yeah,
A lot of people, and I've said this before, 3 years old, they put a piano in front of them, Beethoven right away.
exactly.
For me, I'm 38. It's taken me 30.
Yeah,
When I fell in love with
yeah,
this, when I
yeah,
figured out
yeah.
podcasting, it was like 2, 3 years ago. So like over 30 years to figure out what I was
Wow,
passionate about
exactly.
and what I feel like I'm naturally good at. But just because you're naturally gifted at something doesn't mean it's gonna come to fruition.
Yeah,
Not everybody's lucky
yeah,
enough to
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Or it doesn't necessarily mean that that's what you should be doing in your life at that time.
Right.
So like for me, similar situation to you. Like I've always had like this creative edge, but I,
Right.
I never knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to start a blog when blog was a thing. I wanted to do this, to do that. I've always been into videoing, things like that. But then, life gets in the way and like you don't really know. Then last year I was like, let me just start recording. Like let me just start doing it. Because like if you don't just do it, like you're always gonna have that what
Right.
if?
Right.
Like what am I meant to do in life? And I'm not saying this is like cliche. I'm not meant to be like a content influencer or whatever, but I'm meant to maybe share these moments with people around the globe of me cooking, having a conversation with you. Maybe this is what I'm meant to do. Because there's some things in life where maybe you weren't meant to be an account executive, you're selling things, or you're a nurse. Maybe that's not your passion, but you're just doing it because you need to pay the bills and maybe your parents pressure it. So there's some things that like you're doing a career and yeah, you enjoy it, but you know that's not like you
Damn,
know that's not your passion.
you struck a nerve with that one. So in my previous job, like I've always been in sales. I've been B2B, been an account executive, been an SDR where you develop deals,
Hmm.
like pass
Yeah,
them off to
yeah,
these account
yeah, yeah.
executives, been a manager. And my last role was I had a team of 9 to 11 people, depending on, on,
Hmm.
on what was going on.
Hmm.
I supported account executives and made good money. But like you said, it was just like it wasn't like
Yeah,
whenever I got to podcasting,
yeah,
whenever I
yeah,
started doing what I want,
yeah,
that's where the
yeah,
happiness was.
yeah.
And like, responsibilities cause you to sometimes do things that
Absolutely.
you don't want to. Nobody wants to go to the gym to get a six pack, but you
Nope.
do what you
Nope.
have to do in order for one day for you to do whatever you want to do.
Exactly.
And it was funny that you said account executive
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
like
yeah.
I mean
Well,
we were supporting and
yeah,
it was that it was the constant reminder of like how are you feeding your inner creative, how are you letting that out because it almost gets uncomfortable when you have so many ideas
yeah,
and then you said F it,
yeah.
I'm gonna take this
I'm just gonna
year
do it.
and I'm gonna push
Just do
forward.
it.
And then the world had a way of almost thanking you by saying, "Look, you have people
Exactly.
been doing this for not as consistent as yourself, but for a little over 2 years,
Mhm,
and I don't have the followers you have, but it just goes to show." And I admire that. Like,
mhm,
and that's
mhm.
the thing about too us men. We have to give flowers when flowers are due. We don't
Yeah,
have to
yeah, yeah,
compare ourselves in a
yeah,
negative way.
yeah,
Like I
yeah,
appreciate what
yeah.
you do, and it's flattering, and
Mhm.
I give you your flowers,
Mm.
and I think it's important for us to take note. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah,
all right, this
yeah,
is working for him.
yeah,
He leveled up
yeah.
there, and I think it's awesome. But the accounting, as soon as you
Yeah,
mentioned that,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah, 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 yeah.
it stood out to me.
Yeah, because, like, there's been times in my life the last 4 years since my son and my daughter were born to where, like, I used to have, like, a leadership position working in, like, brick and mortar schools, and everything was up from there, you know? My son was born, I took a step back, and I was like, "Okay, who's gonna watch the kids when they get, this," I just started looking at everything. I'm like and my wife was at a certain point in her career where it was like, "Let me take the step back." And let me try to get something working from home. Let me take a little pause in my career, my ladder, so I could take care of the family and, try to raise our kids in the best scenario as possible. Because I was coming home tired,
Yeah,
not
man.
physically, but mentally, and
Yeah.
then having like a newborn and stuff. So when it came to this content creation stuff, there's been a few opportunities at the company that I'm at now to get a higher wage, get more responsibilities. But I was like, you know what? I don't need that in my life right now. I'm at the point to where like, yeah, you need money to do this. You want okay, that's great. But I'm more right now and I'm 33 and I'm like I just want to be comfortable. Like, if I can pay the bills and I could do a little extra, I can make a little extra here and there, then that's perfectly fine. I don't need all this other stress just to get paid $20,000 more, which will be awesome, but then that's more stress that I'm adding on
Yeah.
myself, and you bring that into your house not knowing, like, you're someone, "Oh, that," and you may, like, pop off because you have so much stress, like, from the job, from the 9 to 5. Those are things that I didn't want. I want it to be steady, balanced. So if I'm able to pay the bills, we're able to live comfortable with God's blessing, and my wife still being able to do what she wants to do in her career, and me taking a step back as a dad in 2026, it's a new era. There's no more gender roles. I'm gonna do that. So I get people in my videos. He's the wife of the house and things like that, and I'm like,
Look at what
and
you got.
okay, and yeah, so it's like, dude, like, it's 2026,
This
like.
is the thing, bro. Like you're raising a good point in saying like, and then I always say I would use myself as like a testimonial and saying like, not all money is good money because you're
Mhm,
getting a $20,000 increase.
mhm.
What ends up happening and happens to the best of us as your income goes up, so do your expenses.
Yep,
You say, oh, you know what? I'm
exactly.
getting an extra 20 grand. I'm not even having like I'm putting that into you say that.
You
And for
say
some,
that.
maybe some people do it, but we love our wives, we love our kids. Oh,
Mhm,
let me put them in dance
mhm.
school, let me put them over here and put them over there. Like
Boom.
now you're stuck.
Childcare.
Childcare. Now you're stuck in a place where it's like you already leveled up. You don't want to take those things. So it's like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
the thing that you're doing, you, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
and the outside, like whatever, man. Like, and that's something that it comes the same thing that you were saying with the same dedication that you have in posting every day
Yeah.
is the same way when people start saying certain things. And I haven't, I'll be honest with you, I haven't gotten any like haters on my thing yet.
Just keep doing it, but
I don't know how I'm gonna react, so I'm not gonna say I don't wanna spit up in the air, but, like, you know what you're doing, like, nobody else knows
yeah, yeah,
what
yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah.
doing, and it's
Yeah,
working out for you, you're happy, you
yeah,
have a beautiful family,
yeah,
beautiful home,
yeah. Thank you, yeah.
and that's the same thing, like, that's where I'm at in my life right now where, being unemployed, I got, like, a good 6 months, cushion,
Uh-huh.
and everybody's like, "Oh, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?" I'm like,
No, take it
"I don't
and
know."
take it and do you. I've spoken to several people that just unfortunately, in the nature of the economy and everything that we're going through in the markets the last 4 years after COVID, everything's been unsteady. So unfortunately, I've met several people in your same situation, and what I tell them is like, take 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 those months of severance or whatever you get. Yeah, apply to jobs, but see this as a moment of like, man, like I could just take a week or two and just focus on myself because you're so wrapped up in life every single day for 20 years, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like, I'm fired. So if you do have the opportunity, if a company does give you severance, if you're able to take some time because there may be a point in life where you don't get that time until like,
Yeah, you don't get to stop.
you're older. So
Yeah.
unfortunately in our market we've seen that way too much even in my field. But I just go day by day to take my blessings and cherish what I have there. But I know there's a lot of people going through the same thing. But just if you do have the moment, just take it. So that's what I'm telling you. Like you're doing your thing right now with the podcast. And I'm sure you're doing little job hunting here and there, but cherish those moments,
Yeah.
especially with the kids right now. Like you're able to spend more time at home. It's awesome. It's
One of my
awesome.
favorite things in the world to do it, and it's not to get into the whole parent thing. I didn't grow up with my dad at all.
Right,
I didn't have
right,
him
right.
present.
Mhm.
Dropping my kids off to school,
Oh, yeah.
he always
Yeah,
everything
yeah,
to me
yeah,
because
yeah,
I get
yeah,
to see them, I get
yeah,
to talk
yeah,
to
yeah,
them, I
yeah.
get to put some positive seeds into their brain because, my daughter being 12, my son being 8, he watches her, she's watching her friends, and she's being so
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
constantly
yeah.
trying to say things to
Mhm,
influence her
mhm,
confidence. Like,
mhm,
"You're the bomb," "You're
mhm,
amazing,"
mm,
and I'm like, "Say that, repeat that,"
mhm.
because I
Yeah,
see it
yeah,
on
yeah.
social
Yeah, yeah,
sometimes,
yeah,
and
yeah.
and that's what I'm saying, like, those $20,000 that I could probably get by going back
Uh-huh.
into a management
Mhm.
role, I don't know if that's the
If you
right
if
fit for
yeah,
me.
like,
Trust
y
me, Michael, I love money, bro. Like,
yeah.
people in my
Of
circle will
course,
tell you this
of
man
course.
he loves money where he'll go to hustle. Like one of my good friends of mine, David, he always says Madrid is not afraid to go out there and make a
Mhm,
couple
mhm,
dollars.
mhm,
My brother-in-law, who I have my window cleaning pressure washing
mhm.
company with, he'll say he'll hustle anywhere he can. Like if we're at a store, I'm asking for a discount. I'm trying to get in cool with the like. To me, that's almost like the thrill in life. But I'm at that point right now in life where I'm like, I'm enjoying my kids. I'm enjoying my wife. My wife doesn't want me to go back into
Mhm,
management.
mhm.
She's like, I love having you home.
Exactly, exactly,
So with that
exactly.
said, bro, like I
Yep,
think it's very important.
yep.
As we go wrapping up, is there anything else that you would like to tell the audience or some things that you
Mhm.
may have coming up? And of course, please towards the end, let everybody know your Instagram handle so they can go ahead and follow you.
Yeah, nothing like basically like on this journey that I'm in right now, and I tell people this all the time, like because I get comments, I get messages, I'm basically like an influencer. So, but I try to tell people, the real like an uncut version. Like I'm not perfect. This is what I'm doing is working for me, and if it's something that you want to do, if you're interested in making content, if you're interested in making extra money, anything like that, if you have a creative itch, just film yourself with your phone, put out the content. It's gonna be a little cringy at first. We're gonna text you, what are you doing? Like what is this? Your family's not gonna understand it at the beginning, especially if you're Dominican or Hispanic. They'll be like, "Hey, go ahead, though." Like
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So, but as time progresses, you'll see the fruits of your labor. And if your goal is to just reach people, touch people's heart, make a difference, then it doesn't matter the amount of views you get or the amount of followers you have because you're gonna be touching people regardless, whether it's a low amount or a high amount. But if your goal is to just make somebody's day, make a difference in someone's day, then you could do that by having 100 followers, 50 followers. Like you could do that
right.
because the algorithm is going to push you out to somebody. It's going to push you out to somebody. So if you just want to reach somebody, just go ahead and film yourself. If you do want to take this seriously and you won't do want to make money, and you're interested in that sort of thing, there is a lot of money to be made. What can I say? Just stay consistent. Don't worry about the amount of followers and engagement you get if you're trying to make money because there's other ways of making money that's without you having a big reach. Brands will contact you just to make videos for them specifically for their page. So that's a big blowing market right now, that's called UGC, where I make a video for a brand and they just pay me for the video and they're posting it on their socials, on their channel.
Right.
So they're not necessarily interested in your following. They just like your video style and where you're shooting, and maybe you're cheaper than this big content creators. We're gonna throw some money at you, and you create this for us. A lot of people are making a lot of money off of that right now too, especially if they don't have a big following. But that's another portion. If you guys are interested in content creation as a side hustle, there is ways to make it to where if you don't have a large following, you can still make money. Just put a lot of work into your craft as far as the visuals.
Right.
Yeah, if you don't follow me already, follow me, Dad.Encasa, Dad.Encasa on all platforms. I think I have Snapchat. No, I don't really post on there, but I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, especially, and TikTok. TikTok is very hard to grow in. That's one thing I'll say. TikTok is very hard to grow in. So I have um 20 27,000 on Instagram, but only almost 6,000 on TikTok.
Right.
So people see that like, what? Like, what's going on? It's very hard to grow on TikTok.
I
Very
I have,
hard.
I think so there's one guy that I interviewed, he has, like, 106,000 in TikTok and, like, 5,000 on Instagram. So sometimes for some people, but TikTok
Yes,
has
yes.
gotten more difficult
It
to
has
pick
gotten
up.
more difficult. When I first started, and I'll tell you this before we wrapped up. When I first started, I was putting a lot of energy into TikTok. A lot of energy because TikTok was the new thing. It was
Right.
Instagram. Instagram been there for years. I'm hopping on this TikTok trend, but I saw way more success on Instagram. And I saw Instagram as more of, and it's not to get controversial, I saw it more as like a more stable platform
Right.
because you saw everything that happened with TikTok.
Yeah.
You saw, the acquisition, and the algorithm has been super messed up since the acquisition. But you even saw how it went black like last year, with the whole
Yeah, that
political
was
thing.
crazy.
So I saw Instagram as like, man, like if I want to build a steady, strong community, I want to I don't mind if it's on Instagram. So TikTok, if you're watching this, or if the algorithm is there, I still love TikTok. I love it. We love
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
TikTok,
we
man.
spent time on that.
But it's hard. It's hard to grow, but some people see it kind of. Some people have success,
Yeah, vice
other way.
versa.
I've had tremendous success on Instagram. Some people don't have success on Instagram. They have success on TikTok. YouTube is growing as well. I've gotten. I wasn't even like messing with YouTube because YouTube is more for like long form,
Yeah,
but they have YouTube Shorts. All the shorts that I put on Instagram and TikTok, I get throw up on YouTube as well. And I've been growing there. I have almost 3,000 followers,
nice.
and it is something to where I'm like, maybe I'm gonna put some more time into it in 2026, and maybe create some long form videos because I've been growing faster on YouTube than I did on TikTok. So because I've only been posting on YouTube. I only have 100 posts on there. So I'm growing fast at a faster rate on YouTube than I did on TikTok. And TikTok's almost been a year. You know what I'm
Gotcha,
saying?
yeah.
So I'm like, okay, maybe I need to focus a little more energy on YouTube. And in YouTube, you can make a lot of money as well.
Yeah, what I would say about YouTube with my shorts
Hmm.
is I see, and it's a good gauge because, like, I put up a video talking about men's health and I got 2,000 views, whereas I talk about something else and I get like 90 views.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like you start seeing it, it helps you gauge almost like what you should be talking a little bit more of. Like what your
Mm,
audience
that's
is
interesting.
is
Yeah,
more open to. So
yeah.
that's one thing that it's helped me see, like, okay, there's certain things that it's like almost like the black sheep of topics to talk about where you don't want to get too deep into it.
Hmm.
And then you're like, oh shit, like people are actually interested in this. And it's like,
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
actually
yeah, yeah,
love
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about this stuff,
yeah,
but I'm a
yeah,
little
yeah.
bit.
You could do, I don't know, have you used the trial reels on Instagram? So trial reels is an option to where like you can make your video. Let's say you make a video, whatever. You don't post it to your followers. You just post it. It just goes to non-followers. It's not on your grid or anything. You'll see it on your grid yourself because you're the person. You'll see it as a trial reel, but you can see how it gauges like in the public. Like let's say you make a video on a topic that you're like, you could throw it up on a trial reel, see how it does, and then if it's doing good, you could throw it to your followers.
Mm,
You could post it to your
I
followers
like
as
that.
well. So I've been hearing about trial reels for this entire year. But some things like you're stubborn, you're like, I don't want it, whatever. I started using it and for those videos that I'm posting on like non-cooking days, I'll throw those up like on a Sunday or whatever to see how they do and to see if on Tuesday, if it'll do decent. But another thing I'll say, people always forget about Facebook. Post on Facebook as well. Facebook, you can make a lot of money on Facebook because if you get like a lot of views, they'll throw ads on your videos and you get paid off Facebook. So that's one of the ones to where if I knew all this a year ago, um, I would have started on all the platforms a year ago from the get-go.
Right.
I would have started from the get-go. And it goes back to like the TikTok thing. Like I was on like, me focus on TikTok. But now like I even see like some of the content creators that are bigger than me that have more following. They're like, oh, they'll put up a story, oh, follow me on YouTube or this or that. And I look and they got like 200 followers. I'm like, damn, I got almost 3,000 on YouTube. So I'm doing something right
Yeah.
that they didn't see. So if you do start posting, just post everywhere. Post in all the platforms. Like
Yeah.
it'll take a couple more minutes out of your day, but just do it. Like you're already posting on one, just do it like on all five
I
or
use
whatever
it
the
as
case may be.
data. I
Yeah,
say
yeah.
that like on YouTube Shorts, to me, when I see the shorts do numbers on YouTube, I almost hold that at a higher importance than any of the other ones because I'm like,
YouTube
this
is
one's doing more.
yeah,
And then even on Facebook Shorts or Reels that they call it, same thing. When I see one go, and then Instagram, I'm like, oh, okay. And
yeah.
that's why it's good because people get to know you, and then they start like it's almost like cross
Yeah, 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 yeah,
promotion.
yeah, yeah.
Whereas like people
Yeah,
find you on TikTok, then find you on Instagram, and they'll follow you.
yeah,
Really start
yeah.
finding it. Yeah,
But yeah, try the trial
yeah.
reels.
I'm gonna look
I
into that.
I I I think that'll be really good for you. Just make sure you check off the little widget that's trial reels. Because when I first started trial reel, I posted one by accident. I didn't click the little trial. I thought it was
Yeah,
trial. And I was like, man, that wasn't even my type of style of video, but I just posted it to my followers.
yeah.
But just post. Don't be afraid of what people are gonna think. Just do you. And yeah, I think you're doing something great with the podcast. And it's something that I've always been interested in as well. So we'll see what happens in the future, but I would just say stay consistent with what you're doing. Put it in everyone's face, like, hey, like this is my podcast, this is what I'm doing. I truly believe now that I've been through this journey, like I told you, being consistent is just everything. So like you see so many people come in and like they drop off, and it just goes to show you that if you are consistent, good things will happen. And even though if you're just doing it as a creative outlet, like for yourself, like you enjoy doing it, like you just do it like for your mental health. Like if 20 people watch it, that's 20 people.
Yeah.
Like people's lives are so valuable these days that if they take out 5 or 10 minutes from their life to watch you, even with me, when people watch 60 seconds of my video, I'm so grateful for it. Uh, that if they're watching something like this that's 5, 10, 20, 30 minutes, thank you, because, we know time is not easy to come
Right.
by. Time is something that's very expensive and not a lot of people get it. So yeah, just post, and be consistent. And, follow me on my socials if you don't follow me.
Yeah,
That's a little plug right there.
yeah.
But yeah, Dad.Encasa. And one thing I always, try to do as well before we wrap up is I always try to respond to all my comments and all my messages. So if you do message me and I don't
That's a
respond,
fact. That's why we're here.
yeah, 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 yeah. If you see that you message me and I don't respond right away, is because probably I don't follow you, or I need to approve the message. But I try to get through all my messages and comments, even like the weird little messages you may get that are kind of like spamish. I still feel them just in case, but I try to make myself available and as relatable as I can to everybody. So one of the things that I do is take a few minutes out to respond because you took a few minutes out to watch me.
Michael, pleasure,
All right,
man.
bro.
Thank you so
It
much
was a
for being
pleasure,
on the
man.
show.
Thank
We're definitely gonna continue supporting you and all the things that you do.
I appreciate it, brother. You
Thank you.
too. You too.